So David, Saturday marked your 550th career appearance. You must have been delighted with that.
Yeah, something I am really proud of. Obviously, I knew it was coming up, but then before the game I was looking through the programme and I realised that, I knew I wasn't playing, but I realised through the programme that if I got on the pitch today it was 550. And when you think about that, I was proud. I said it, I think when I put the tweet out, I was proud as a professional just to make one appearance. It's everything I dreamed of when you're a kid growing up playing school, to become that professional footballer, but to play that first professional game was something I can remember like it was yesterday at Bury, and now to play 550, I mean, it is a remarkable achievement when you think how many games that really is. Not many people in all professional levels will reach that amount, but I'm still going, so hopefully I can get a lot more.
Yeah, and when growing up, like as a schoolboy, did you ever imagine that you'd make so many appearances over such a long time?
No, definitely not. I've got to say I didn't. I mean, I knew I had a talent when I was a kid, and when I got myself finally a youth team contract at Bury at the time and coming through the youth system, you know, you just keep progressing and working hard, and then I thought I would make it as a professional footballer. I just thought I had not only the talent, but I've always had hard work and dedication instilled in me. That's just the type of person that I am, and I always seem to, if someone's in front of me or an obstacle's in front of me, I'll do whatever I can to get it out of the way. I've done that throughout my career, so I knew I'd make it as a professional, and being honest, but no chance I ever think I'd stay in the game this long.
Yeah, and over 170 of those games have been with the Cobblers over the last 4 years. Has it felt like home to you?
Yeah, this is home to me. You know, ever since I've walked through the door here, the supporters, the staff, all the managers that I've worked under, the players, you know, everybody's made me feel welcome in and around the town. Now I've got friends in Northampton that I never knew before, that will be my friends for life. So I'm just looking around this room and I can see some great memories there. You know, Rick holding the trophy up, beating West Brom, I think that was in the cup. You know, so these memories are all things I'll take with me, but you know, everybody knows the way I feel about this football club. Since I've come in, I've given my all. I'll continue to do that until the day I'm not here.
Now, one thing I've noticed, you're very rarely injured. What would you put your longevity down to?
I think it's understanding your body as you get older. You know, you've got to have a little bit of luck along the way with injuries. I have picked up injuries, but as I say, the amount of games I've played shows that I've been fit and available for the majority of my career, which is very good. But I think it's just understanding your body and doing the right things away from the football pitch, knowing when it's time to party, so to speak, and then when it's time to recover and rest.
And you've played both with and against some top quality players. Who would you rank as the top?
Oh, I've played a lot of players, not only in my club career, but obviously when I was with Northern Ireland International, under 19s, under 21s, I've played against some top players, you know. But I always go back to, sometimes the biggest names are not always the most difficult opponents because they're at a different level to you. But if you just chucking names out there, for me, like Wayne Rooney's an idol of mine. I've played against Liverpool plenty of times, Coutinho's, Gerrard's, etc. But I've had some difficult opponents just at League 2 and League 1 level.
Let's take it back to the beginning. You were released by Bolton Wanderers as a teenager. What were your thoughts at that time?
No, I mean, when I was at Bolton, I was doing really well there. I was playing a lot for the youth team at the time. When I was 15 in the under-16s, I was playing a lot of games for the under-18s at the time, and you know, I thought I was destined to get a YTS or Academy scholarship as it was back then. But you know, when you go into that meeting, you get told that you're being released as a 16-year-old. Don't care what anybody says. It's the hardest thing you'll ever go to. You know, all them dreams that you've built yourself up for come crashing down in front of you. But you know, I've always been a strong-minded person, and I've had strong people and really supportive family around me. No matter, never forced me to be a footballer. Always encouraged just me to do whatever I wanted to do. And before I signed for Bury, actually I went to Sheffield Wednesday for a week. We were going to sign there, but at the time I just didn't like living away from home. So Bury was a dream come true for me. It was on the doorstep, obviously only a few miles down the road from Rochdale. And the minute I got through the door, you know, it just felt like home, and I progressed really quickly into the first team.
Yeah, obviously people will remember their professional debut or their first league goal. What stands out for you as career highlights?
Career highlights, got a few, but I definitely remember my debut, like I said yesterday. I came on away at Kidderminster. It was actually the game we relegated them at the Football League at the time, and I said this to the young lads now, like, I used to always remember it was like being on the middle lane of a motorway. Came on as a substitute, and you know, things are just flying past you. And then I made my full debut away at them, down the road, Oxford. But career highlights for me have got to be winning a league title, especially how we did it here at Northampton. Getting promotion, Wembley with Preston, again another fantastic club that just unbelievable to play for. Everyone around there, fans, staff, players. I was just privileged to play for that football club. Captaining the team here against Manchester United, which was always a dream come true for me. And I'd have to say scoring on my debut for Northern Ireland away in Italy, away in Rome, you know, to represent my father's country and where all my family's from and my wife's from and stuff. You know, that's one of my regrets in my career, never getting to make a senior appearance for Northern Ireland, but you know, that scoring that first goal away in Italy, you know, I'll never forget that.
And away from football, you've recently graduated with a first-class degree. You've got your own radio show as well. Is that something you're going to look to progress in the next few years?
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, I decided to go down the route of getting educated first and getting a degree first before I did my coaching badges, because I just thought that was a better way for life after football. And I'm really interested, always been interested in the media and the broadcasting side of the game. So the radio show, unbelievable what BBC Northampton have done, you know, helping me come in there and trusting me to be a co-host and stuff at the show. But that's only the stepping stone for me in terms of my media career. I'm networking, I'm opening doors for myself, and I'm getting in touch with people in the business, and hopefully in the next few years in terms of media you'll see me hopefully on the telly or doing cold comes or punditry or something like that. But I want to stay in the game. I've dedicated all my life to the game, so coaching badges is the next step for me. I see myself as someone I think's got a lot to offer in the game, with the way I am as a person, what I've learned from the managers that I've worked under, the players that I've played with, and you know, I'd like to give a crack at being a manager myself. 550
games in the bank, no doubt a few more to come as well.
Yes.
What pieces of advice would you have for any young players that were in your shoes 10, 15 years ago when you weren't maybe getting the luck of the draw? What piece of advice would you have for them?
I think first of all, I always say this to kids that I try and help and I try and mentor. That's another thing that I do away from the game, is, you know, self-belief is massive, and in football especially, we're in an environment where it can be knocked out of you quickly, coming from the youth team and coming from being a 16-year-old at school and, you know, into a first team environment. You hear it all the time. You know, the game's changed a lot from when I first started. You know, you'd have to do everything, you know, you get the taken out of you basically off the old lads, but now it's a bit different. You can't say what you want to really say, but what I would say in terms of, you've just got to work harder. If somebody's in your position, whether you're a youth team player coming to reserves, you've got to work harder and do more than the guy that's in your position. And when you get his shirt, you make sure that you keep his shirt off him, and you do everything you can every day to impress the people that matter, your coaches and your managers and your teammates. And I think you'll progress really well, and once you get into the first team, then it's up to you. Because I had talent, but I was never the most talented player in any of the teams that I played for. But I managed to stay in the first team in every single one of them. And a lot of them, when I came here, there was always somebody in front, and it's always a player in front of me. And I managed to get them out of the way, and that's what I do. Competition, I love competition, that's what I thrive off. And for any young player, I think self-belief's a massive thing. And even when you're getting setbacks or getting told that you're not good enough at certain aspects of your game or your characteristics, you know, sit back, listen to what you're being told, but then don't be afraid to go and ask questions on how can I improve that then? How's that going to get me in your team? How am I going to do better for somebody else? And I think that's the piece of advice I give.
Yeah, and finally, you've built a great rapport with the fans here in your time. Just a quick word for them and their support.
Yeah, the fans know what I think about them. Obviously, you can't be everybody's cup of tea. That's the way football fans work. I'm a supporter of football clubs myself, and I know the way it works. But I think 99% of all football fans that I played for, my clubs, Tranmere, Preston, Bury, up in Scotland at Hamilton, and especially out at Northampton where I spent the majority of my time and had a lot of success. I love being captain of the club here, I love being around the environment. I feel like this is home, and I appreciate all the support I've had off the supporters, and in return I know that the supporters know that every time I represent the football club on and off the pitch, you know, I give it everything I've got.